All right, classes in session. This is going to be a good one. Real quick, hey, I'm getting the content out there. I'm putting good information out there. I'll update my technology, but you know what? Kicked around whether I should put information out there to help guys in relationships and help men and women, have better relationships. And I was trying to hold off till I got, a great, expensive setup. And then, you know what? I said, you know what? I just want to put info out there. I want to help people. I want to help guys. So, I'm doing what I can with what I got, but I will be updating and upgrading. I do apologize, but I'm doing what I can. But I do have good information. I do have good content that I'm putting out. And I hope if I can just help a couple of guys, one, two, I mean, you're seeing guys get put in jail, lose their life because of bad decisions they're making in relationships. And I'm standing by going, there's stuff you can do. Anyway, having said that, this is a continuation of a video I did earlier, Jeremy Meeks, the hot felon. There's a video I already did on that. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. Hope, and go share it with some people. And in that video, I give a lot of, opinions, right? But he gives a story. And what a couple of things I will say, and this is very short, so this should be real short. But so my lead-in will be a little longer because I want to explain this. But if you haven't seen the Champions Don't Complain video of mine, go check that out. Also, Matt Cox's channel, that's where he, I originally got it from. But anyway, in that video, I discussed that Jeremy Meeks is the alpha bang guy. He's the guy that, women lust after. He was the hot felon, the prison bae, the sexy convict, and how women, will chase you if they like you, and what women will do when you're the alpha, bang side of the dual mating strategy and not the beta male provider, because Jeremy Meeks wasn't providing anything, and so this is his wife, or ex-wife, sorry. This is his ex-wife that he had met in jail. He gives the story, how he met her in jail. She was working, I believe she was handing out the medicine at the time, and so that's where he saw her. And at the time, she didn't approach him because, they're not supposed to have interactions and, whatever. And she didn't. They didn't. She ended up resigning from the job at the prison or wherever she worked, the jail. And he already had been transferred, but she sent a letter to where he got transferred to, and she said, hey, she sought him out and said, don't know if you remember me. If you got a girl, she was real respectful, but if you don't, I'm interested, and Jeremy Meeks is like, cool. They ended up, corresponding, and then, they ended up getting married, but she picked him up when he got out of jail. She's the one that picked him up. So once again, she chased him with the letter. Then she picks him up, from the jail. I say breaks them out of jail. She didn't. They were good people. And what did I say in that video? That, again, the only reason I say that is because I want you guys to know this is credible information. Before I even knew what this was going to come out, or I saw this. What did I say in that video? Look how Jeremy Meeks talks about women in general. Look how Jeremy Meeks talked about his ex-wife. He talked about her very nicely. And he said this was his angel. Not in a simp way, meaning she saved his life, being such a good person to him. And he smiled. He had a big smile on his face. And she was the one that actually told him about the podcast he was on. So they have kids together, I believe. They stay in touch. They have a good relationship. And you'll see with her on this, she is nothing but, respectful on this show. You can get a sense of people, and she is very well put together on this show. Just her, demeanor, she's very professional, very, she looks great, yeah, she looks wonderful. No shade, she does. She looks great. And just the way she talks, and she talks about Jeremy in the nicest of ways. And you'll hear her say, I loved him. I was married to him for 9 years, and I still love him. And she cries about it. And I'm not going hard on her at all. I think she's an awesome person, a beautiful lady. What she's saying is, you can tell that's, alpha widow. We've heard those terms. I think Jeremy Meeks is going to be that guy. She still seems to love him, But apparently, and I don't look at Jeremy Meeks in a bad way, and neither did she. He ended up, what happens with all the fame? He got options. He's a good-looking, handsome, sexy man, according to, all the press he was getting and women, and when you got options, you got leverage. I'm just saying, I'm not trying to use it in a bad way, but, he had leverage at that point, and he left her apparently, and she caught him with another chick, whatever. But that didn't make her not want him anymore, any less, So that's all. That's basically the rundown of it. Let's go ahead and watch it, and we'll go from there.
Jeremy, like when you were together, what was life like with him?
Yeah, he was an amazing husband.
Amazing husband. Champions don't complain.
When I think about it, sometimes I still get emotional.
Look at that, guys. Take half my stuff. Take half my stuff.
Sure, it's still very raw.
It is.
He took half my stuff. You don't hear that? Do you hear 304 took half my stuff? Jeremy, I won't submit to him. You hear her. That's I miss him. Here we go.
And the stepfather to two of your children as well.
Yeah, we had a really good life together.
When he got arrested and went to prison, what sort of impact did that have on you all as a family?
Well, of course, the whole family dynamic changed. When something as drastic as that happens in any household, of course. So we were pretty much just living day-to-day lives, but without him, So I would still work, and the kids still had school, and
that you were going to stick with him. That was always going to be the case. You were going to stand by him for the length of his prison sentence.
Absolutely.
And family again when he came out.
Absolutely. That was the plan.
and that plan went wrong, essentially, I suppose, because his mugshot went viral.
Mm-hmm. It went viral when he got arrested. I think that, of course, all the exposure that he got, and all these amazing opportunities that he got, and this new career path that he was on, and he started doing a lot of traveling, and unfortunately, I wasn't able to go with him on a lot of things. So I feel that probably pulled some distance between us.
He's an incredibly handsome man. I mean,
Absolutely.
I say that. I think the monikers he got with the blue-eyed bandit and Jail Bay when it came out. I mean, it's a striking image.
As far as I know, there's never been anybody that actually reached out to him.
Well, the way she smiled when they started talking about how hot he was, that's a woman's ego. She liked that.
We get compliments all the time. Of
She
course,
likes that.
Your eyes. You're very handsome. Of course he is. He's an amazing-looking man.
There you go. Look at the smile, though. Look at the smile. Yep.
This world emerges. You've stuck.
Don't hear her talking shit, guys. Looks max. Don't hear amazing looking man. I don't hear 304. I don't hear her talking shit. Champions don't complain. She's a champion too.
The mother to his child. You've got these two other children that look at him as a father figure as well. And all of a sudden, this relationship is being stretched. And then these pictures emerge of him with somebody else, with another young girl. What was your reaction when you saw those pictures?
It was very, very heartbreaking for me.
Had you had any contact with him while he was away? Had there ever been any suggestion that maybe things weren't great between the two of you, and he'd been sort of looking for a relationship somewhere else?
No, I had no indication that he was looking for another relationship.
He's a man with options. Come on, guys.
People who are married, who have been in long-term relationships, you go through your ups and downs. I felt.
And just like they say, people, I wouldn't, blah, 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 especially from guys or whatever. But hey, guys, you ain't like Tiger Woods or this guy. You ain't got the number of options coming at you. I mean, if you got one or two coming at you, you'd have a hard time. This guy probably had thousands of coming at him. So anyway, be slow on your judgment.
That we had to work through, that we had to figure out, get over the hump, and we'd iron things out, and we'd get through it, and everything would be fine.
And when he came back after a big modelling stint, how did he talk to you about those pictures and his relationship?
Are you referring to the pictures that surfaced on the boat?
Mm-hmm.
Well, he was just apologetic for how things came out, and how hurt I was by it. I really wasn't.
Now, and check this out. He's a felon. A lot of guys, he's a, no looks, money, status. Felons don't, in my opinion, a lot of guys will say they don't have status. They, and we can, or he's not the richest guy, whatever, He's a felon. He's a convict, whatever. Women don't care. There's no morality in sexuality. Nor should they. nor should they. Just know that and operate accordingly. Your little virtue signal. I'm in the Chamber of Commerce, and I'm a youth minister, and I pay all my taxes, and I say hi to the mailman every day. And doesn't matter. Women don't care. That don't make them wet.
Too sure where I wanted to go in the relationship. I mean, honestly, that's my husband of 8-9 years. I love him deeply. I still do.
Mm-hmm.
It's very hard for me when I think about what's happened, because honestly, sorry.
It's okay.
Right there, gentlemen. Did your ex look at you that way? Does your wife right now even try to talk to you about that in that way? Not many. Alpha bang, brothers. Alpha bang, brothers. Alpha widow, brothers. There's beta male provider ain't getting you there. A beta male provider don't get you this. That don't get you this. And you don't hear him screaming 304, 304. He's got his woman crying about him. Married 9 years. Respect to both of them, though. Okay?
I wish I still had my husband to go home to.
Is there any hope anywhere of reconciliation down the line? I know that the divorce proceedings are underway.
I don't believe so. No, not at this point.
So now it's about you working out how life will be after the relationship is sort of legally over. Mm-hmm. And what about for the children? Is he still seeing his kids?
Yeah, he still sees them. They're still very involved with each other, which is great. He sees them as much as they can, and I encourage them to see him as much as possible. So, at least that's still positive for the children. So that's really good, and I'm happy about that.
The children are obviously the main thing here, obviously, and it's always painful, but they're the most important thing.
Yeah,
that's great that he's still seeing them.
I agree, absolutely.
Well, Melissa, thanks for coming and sharing the story, and you're sharing your side of the story as well. Clearly, it's still very raw, and we can understand that.
Yes. It was very heartbreaking. Thank you guys so much for having me on here, and me being able to share a little bit of, my life and my side with you guys. Thank you so much.
No.
Honorable and classy till the end.
Oh, this is
Honorable and classy till the end. I mean, come on, look at that. Look at that. I mean, what do we learn? Champions don't complain. Champions don't complain. Both of them, he said on his show, she saved his life. She was his angel. Both of them talked highly of each other. And look how much better, and they're not doing it for effect, they just love each other. But look how much better that sounds than someone going in on another person. It never sounds good. Never be negative. Never be negative, But this 304, they're gonna take all your stuff. Hypergamy can't win. Women always got options. I'm screwed. Hypergamy, blah blah blah. Dude. Don't do it. Don't be negative. Just learn how to win. Learn how to win at the game. All right. We'll see you on the next one.